Hello, powerful ladies! If you're a woman trying to lose fat and feel more confident in your body, but it seems like every attempt leads to the same result, zero change, this video is going to feel like a breath of fresh air. Because let's be honest, you've probably tried eating healthier, cutting portions, avoiding sweets, doing your best at the gym, drinking more water, maybe even adding walks and weekend workouts. And still, nothing really happens. Your belly looks the same, your clothes fit the same, and your energy is all over the place. And the worst part isn't even the lack of progress. It's the feeling that your body isn't responding to you anymore. It almost feels like you're doing everything right, but still getting nowhere. If this sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're not weak. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is just reacting to a mix of stress, routines, eating patterns, and training choices that no influencer, no diet, and no traditional fitness advice ever taught you to understand. But by the end of this video, everything is going to make sense in a simple, calm, human way that actually fits your real life. And the best part? At the end of every chapter, you'll hear exactly what you can do today to start seeing the first shifts in your body. Let's begin. Women after 30 live in a rhythm that no biology textbook ever prepared us for. You wake up already thinking about the day ahead, maybe rushing through breakfast, juggling work, home, family, responsibilities, notifications, deadlines, and emotional overload. Your brain is on before your body even has time to breathe. And all this pressure affects your hormones, your appetite, your sleep, and your metabolism in ways nobody ever explained. This video will walk you through the exact science behind female fat loss, but in a way that feels like a conversation with a friend who really understands what you're going through. No complicated words, no lectures, just clarity, honesty, and steps you can take today. So stay with me, because everything is connected. Now, let's talk about the real reason your body isn't changing, and why that's about to shift. Stress, hormones, and your metabolism. Let's start with the thing almost no one explains, but every woman feels. When your mind is overloaded, your body doesn't feel safe enough to let go of fat. And this isn't some fluffy idea or motivational quote. It's biology. You wake up tired, you check your phone, you feel rushed before you even leave the house. You eat whatever fits between two tasks. You try to be good with food, but the stress of the day builds up. Maybe hunger hits at weird times. Maybe you feel puffy, bloated, swollen, irritated, even when you're not eating a lot. This isn't lack of discipline. This is your stress response system running the whole show. When your brain thinks life is too much, your body switches to protective mode. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your body is trying to help you survive your day. The problem is that high cortisol makes your body hold water, increase appetite, accumulate belly fat, and slow down fat burning. It also messes with your sleep, which then makes hunger even harder to control. So the pattern repeats: stress, poor sleep, cravings, guilt, and stress again. And guess which bodies feel this the most? Women's. Especially women juggling work, routine, responsibilities, hormones, cycle changes, and emotional weight. When you're in this cycle, losing fat is not just difficult. It feels impossible because you're fighting against your own biology. But the beautiful part is this: your body relaxes and starts burning fat again much faster than you think when you send the right signals. Even something simple like breathing deeper for a minute, walking in natural light for a few minutes, or eating at more regular times helps your body understand. Okay, I'm safe. I don't need to hold everything. And that's your first shift. Today, before trying to fix your whole life, just send one signal of safety to your body. 1. Slow down your exhale. Step outside for 2 minutes. Stretch your shoulders. You don't feel it immediately, but your metabolism does. And this is where results begin. How to do a caloric deficit the right way. Let's make this simple, because you don't need complicated math or stressful rules. A caloric deficit works. That part is real. But most women try to do it in a way that leaves them tired, hungry, and frustrated. And that's when the body fights back. You don't need to starve yourself. You just need a deficit that your body can actually handle. To find a realistic target, take your weight in kilos, multiply by 22, and then multiply that number by around 1.5 if you have a normal routine. That's your daily burn. From there, dropping 10 to 20% is enough to lose fat without feeling miserable. So, if your number is about 2,000 calories, eating around 1,600 to 1,800 is totally fine. You don't need to go extreme. Extremes always backfire. Now, if there's one thing that makes this whole process easier, it's protein. Aim for roughly 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. This keeps you full longer, protects your muscle, and helps your body actually look toned as you lose fat. And the best moment to set the tone for your hunger is breakfast. A protein-rich meal in the morning changes your appetite for the rest of the day. It doesn't need to be fancy. Greek yogurt with berries, eggs with veggies, a protein smoothie, protein oats, or even cottage cheese with fruit. These breakfasts keep you satisfied, prevent cravings, and make the deficit feel natural instead of forced. But there's one thing many women underestimate: hidden calories. Olive oil, nut butters, nuts, granola, creamy coffees, and healthy snacks can easily double your intake without you noticing. Eating healthy is great, but eating healthy and high calorie without awareness stops fat loss. So today, choose one direction. Either focus on hitting your protein, or remove one hidden calorie habit you know has been sneaking into your day. Small shifts like this make the deficit finally work in your favor. Strategic nutrition. That makes fat loss easier. Most women struggle because their meals don't have structure. They eat too little protein, too little fiber, too many hidden fats, and meals that don't keep them full for long. When your blood sugar goes up and down all day, your hunger becomes unpredictable. Your cravings intensify and your motivation disappears. Fat loss becomes much easier when your meals combine three things: protein, fiber, and volume. Protein tells your body, we're safe, we can burn fat. Fiber stabilizes blood sugar and keeps digestion moving. And volume, foods like vegetables, fruits, and legumes, lets you eat a full plate without consuming a ton of calories. So here's your shift for tomorrow. Plan your first meal of the day right now. Choose your protein, add your fiber, build your volume. You'll feel the difference in your hunger, your mood, and your energy, often within 24 hours. How your body actually gets toned. Now that you understand how your hunger, energy, and metabolism respond to food and stress, we need to talk about something most women misunderstand: toning. When you say you want to tone up, what you're really saying is, I want less fat covering my body and more muscle underneath so I look firm instead of soft. And here's the part no one tells you. You can lose fat without toning, and you can tone without losing fat. But if you want both, the look most women are actually chasing, you need to build some muscle while losing fat. And before your brain jumps to that old fear of getting bulky, let me stop you right there. It doesn't happen on accident. It doesn't happen quickly. And it definitely doesn't happen just because you lift weights. Muscle grows slowly, subtly, and it gives your body shape. Your waist looks smaller, your legs look firmer, your arms look more defined. The point here is not making you look like a professional bodybuilder, but to make your body look sculpted, not bigger. The truth is that most women don't struggle with too much muscle. They struggle with too little. Not enough muscle makes your metabolism slower, your body softer, and your fat loss harder. When you strength train consistently, you give your body a reason to keep muscle even while you're in a caloric deficit. And that's what leads to the toned look you're after. So as you lose fat, your muscle is what shapes your body. It keeps your metabolism from crashing, it stabilizes your hunger, and it improves your energy throughout the day. Without muscle, fat loss feels like shrinking. With muscle, fat loss feels like transforming. If you ever look at your body and think, I feel smaller but not firmer, that's why the muscle isn't being challenged. And the good news is, your body responds quickly once you start training in the right way. Even small improvements in strength and movement quality make a noticeable difference. So, before anything else, ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you really challenged your muscles? Not with random exercises, not with tiny weights, but with a workout designed to make your body adapt? If the answer is, it's been a while, Then now you know exactly where to start shifting things. Smart 1-hour training, what actually works. Let's be real. You don't need to live at the gym, and you don't need to do an endless list of workouts to see results. What you do need is 1 solid hour of training done the right way. Not 3 hours of wandering around, not multiple classes that make you sweat, but don't change your body. 1 focused hour where your muscles are actually being trained. And that's where compound movements and progressive overload come in. Compound movements are exercises that work several muscles at the same time, like squats, deadlift variations, lunges, hip thrusts, rows, and bench presses. These movements give you the most results for the time you spend training because they activate big muscle groups and increase your overall strength faster. This is the opposite of spending an hour doing tiny, isolated movements that barely challenge your body. But compound movements alone aren't enough. You also need progressive overload, which sounds complicated, but it's actually the simplest concept in training. Progressive overload just means slowly increase the challenge over time. You don't jump from lightweight to heavyweight in a week. You don't push your body to extremes. Instead, you increase things gradually, a little more weight, a little more control, a little deeper range of motion. Your only job is to be slightly better than your last workout. And if you want to know what actually reshapes a woman's body, it's this combination. Large movement patterns, big muscle groups, and slow, steady progression. Legs, glutes, and back respond incredibly well to this kind of training. And when those muscles grow even a little bit, your whole silhouette changes. Your posture improves. Your waist looks smaller. Your arms look more defined. Everything pulls upward. This is why 1 hour of smart training beats 3 hours of random workouts. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what works. A structured hour of compound movements with controlled reps, good form, and gradual progression creates a hormonal and muscular environment where fat loss becomes easier and definition shows up faster. Next time you're at the gym, choose just a few big movements. Something for your legs, something for your glutes, something for your back, and focus entirely on doing them better. Slow down, breathe, feel what your body is doing. Forget the ego of lifting heavy. Let your technique guide your progress. Because strength built slowly is strength that stays. Daily habits that speed up fat loss. Fat loss doesn't come only from your workouts or your meals. It comes from the rhythm of your day. The small habits that either push your body toward fat-burning mode or pull it back into survival mode. And the interesting part is that these habits aren't dramatic. They're not complicated. They don't require motivation. They're simply signals your body receives that tell it how to function. One of the most powerful is hydration. Most women think they're drinking enough water, but they're not. Even mild dehydration increases hunger, slows digestion, and makes you feel more fatigued, which then leads to overeating or relying on sugar for energy. Just drinking water consistently throughout the day can reduce cravings and stabilize appetite without any effort. Another habit is exposure to natural light early in the morning. This might sound random, but it directly affects your cortisol rhythm, which impacts your mood, hunger, sleep, and fat loss. When you step outside for a couple of minutes right after waking up, your brain gets a signal that helps regulate your entire day. And of course, movement outside the gym matters more than you think. Walking throughout the day, getting up more often, staying less sedentary. These little bursts of movement improve your metabolism, your insulin sensitivity, and your energy levels, even if you never break a sweat. Your eating schedule also matters. You don't need to follow a strict plan, but eating at roughly consistent times helps your body relax around hunger. When your body knows food is coming, it doesn't panic, and your hunger becomes more predictable. And finally, reducing stimulation at night, bright screens, loud noise, heavy meals, sets you up for deeper sleep, which is one of the strongest fat loss tools that exists. Sleep regulates hunger hormones, improves recovery, and lowers cortisol without you having to do anything. When these habits line up, your metabolism feels supported instead of stressed. And when your metabolism feels supported, everything you do, your deficit, your nutrition, your training, starts working better. Your body is not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to survive your routine. When you change the routine, the body follows. Your morning and night routine for fat loss and toning. Let's put all of this together into something you can actually follow. Your morning and night routine. These are the bookends of your day, the moments that tell your body what kind of environment it's living in. And the truth is, you don't need a perfect routine. You just need a supportive one. Your morning routine starts the second you open your eyes. Instead of grabbing your phone and flooding your brain with stress, let your body wake up first. Walk to the window, open it, and let natural light hit your eyes. This single act helps regulate your cortisol curve for the day, which means better mood, better energy, and fewer cravings. Drink water before coffee to hydrate your system because dehydration creates fake hunger and makes you feel sluggish. And try to eat a protein-rich breakfast within the first couple of hours. This gives your body the signal that it's safe, that it's fueled, and that it doesn't need to hold on to fat. Something simple like eggs with veggies, yogurt with fruit, a protein smoothie, or protein oats is enough to change the way your hunger behaves until nighttime. If you can, add a few minutes of movement. Nothing intense, just enough to wake up your joints and let your metabolism know you're starting the day with energy instead of panic. And if mornings feel chaotic, plan at least one thing the night before so the day doesn't hit you like a storm. Your nighttime routine is where fat loss actually accelerates. Not because you're burning tons of calories while you sleep, but because sleep shapes your hormones more than almost anything else. And most women go to bed with their minds still spinning. To break that cycle, start dimming screens earlier. Give your brain a chance to slow down. Reading also works wonders to slow down your brain. Try spending 10 minutes reading before bed, and you'll notice how fast you drift to sleep. Eat a lighter meal at night, still with protein, but easier to digest, so your body doesn't stay busy processing food when it should be resting. Do something that lowers your internal volume. Stretch, breathe slowly, take a warm shower, or simply sit quietly for a moment. These tiny rituals lower cortisol and set you up for deeper sleep, which then impacts your hunger, energy, and fat loss the next day. A consistent morning and night routine is not about being perfect. It's about creating a rhythm your body can trust. And when your body trusts the rhythm, everything else, food, training, fat loss, starts working better without forcing anything. If you've watched until now, you already understand something that most people never learn. Your body isn't fighting you. It's responding to the rhythm of your life. When you're overwhelmed, underslept, undereating protein, guessing your calories, doing random workouts, and living in constant rush mode, your body does exactly what it was designed to do. It protects you by holding energy. But the moment you start shifting the signals you give your body, everything changes. You don't need crazy workouts or insane discipline. You just need a plan that respects your biology instead of punishing it. Start with the chapter that resonated with you the most. Maybe today you focus on eating more protein. Maybe tomorrow you try a real strength session with compound movements. Maybe tonight you go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you drink water before anything else in the morning. Small steps create big results when you stop abandoning yourself. Also, don't try to do this journey alone. If you want a body that feels lighter, stronger, healthier, and more defined, you need the right guidance. More than 80% of the women who watch this channel regularly aren't subscribed, and they end up missing the exact videos that would have helped them stay consistent. Don't be one of them. Subscribe so you don't lose the next steps of this process, because once you understand your body, once you learn how to work with it instead of against it, everything becomes easier. Fat loss becomes easier, toning becomes easier, consistency becomes easier, and your confidence grows naturally as a result. Your body is capable of changing beautifully, intelligently, and sustainably. And now you finally have the roadmap to make that happen.